Baltimore is Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings, the top Democrat on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. And what are Democrats going to offer? Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Good being with you.
It was not a good election for you guys.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one, and I think there are a lot of lessons to be learned, and I think we're going to have to put the mirror up to our own face and try to make sure that we do some corrective action. But clearly the Republicans nationalized this election and tried to make government look incompetent, and basically took President Obama and tried to say that he was not doing a good job. So we got caught up, the nation, I think, got caught up in distraction, and so we've got work to do.
What do you think the Democrats should do? First of all, change in the White House staff?
I trust the president with regard to the staff. I'd never tell anybody how to deal with their staff. I think he will have and has had the kind of people around him that he feels comfortable with that'll do the job for him. But I think the party itself, we've got to make sure that we get our message out much more clearly, Andrea. Clearly, when you're talking about things like increasing the minimum wage, addressing the issue of income disparity and equity among men and women, equal pay for equal work, and issues such as making sure that young people are not burdened with high college debt. Those are very important issues, but we've got to make sure that we communicate that we communicate what the president has achieved, and he has achieved a lot, and not run away from our record. And I didn't in my election, and didn't run away from the Affordable Care Act. And we've got to stand up for the things that we believe in. What about the leadership, Senate and House? Well, I feel comfortable with our leadership. I think that we have to, again, address messaging. It's one thing to expand the base, and I do think we need to do that, but we also have to get our messaging right so that people, when they vote for Democrats, they know that they are what they're getting for that, and they realize that we're not so much worried about tomorrow or the next day, but the next generation. And so again, messaging is important, but we got to get people out, but we also got to make sure that we give them something to vote for.
Now, if you look at the members who have been elected to the House, the liberal and conservative wings have been strengthened and the middle has been diminished. Yeah. So are people in your caucus going to be willing to compromise? What if the president goes around the Democrats and works with Republicans to try to build a legacy for himself?
Well, I don't think that the president is going to do that. I mean, he may, but keep in mind, he basically drew a line with regard to the Affordable Care Act and said that he just was not going to let them do anything to diminish that, and that's a big issue for us. And he also knows that Social Security and Medicare are very important to us. So I expect that there will be consultation with us. He realizes that he doesn't have to run again, and we do. And he wants the very best for the party, and he wants the best for the next president, who I believe will be a Democrat. So I think he'll do work with us to try to address issues that have to be addressed. Now, keep in mind, what the American people said to us in this last election is that Republicans, we want you to share responsibility of government with the Democrats. But they also want us to do things for them, things that go to the center of their lives, that affect them every day. And we've got to show that we can do that. And we've got to get away from the blame games and actually get to work to address the issues of the American people. And
what about the president saying that he is going to do by executive order immigration reform or some pieces of it, and John Boehner saying that would be a huge mistake. McConnell saying it would be, Boehner said it would be lighting a fire. McConnell said it would be like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Shouldn't Congress legislate?
Congress should legislate, but Congress hasn't been legislating. And to be frank with you, I think I'm satisfied with the Senate bill. I think we ought to, the House should go ahead and pass the Senate bill and move on. I don't think the Republicans are going to do anything about immigration. I don't think they want to. And I wish they would just say it. They talk a good game, but they don't do anything. And so the president is saying, look, I've got 2 years. get something done. That's what the American people want us to do. And so I say to the Senate and to McConnell and Boehner, you've got a bill, you've got a decent bill. Let's get it passed and move on.
Elijah Cummings, thank you, Congressman. Thanks for being with us.